Hey guys, today we're using a classic shave soap all the way from Italy. It's none other than Cella. Coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host John, and we are continuing our classic shave soaps and creams series. We're going to Italy for today's selection, and it is the infamous Cella. Cella here is in the tub, but it's actually got quite an attractive box. Show you real quick. The packaging went through an overhaul maybe like a few years ago. I'm not quite sure when, because back when I first owned Cella, when I was getting into wet shaving, it had a much more dated, had text only. If I open it up, you can take a look. The same branding here. It can also be found, well, there's a little card inside, and you can see the same logo right here. So it definitely has a vintage look to it. I picked this up from the razor company for $9.99. This holds 150 grams of soap. This is made in a kind of classic crope formula, extremely soft, so you don't have to lather in this tub, but you can just scoop some out, put it into a shave bowl, put it around your brush, and smear it on your face, whatever you want. It's malleable, is what I'm trying to say here. And as far as the scent, it's got a clean, sweet smell, most often compared to almonds, cherries, or marzipan. And you know, looking at the lid again, it actually is identified as almond shaving cream. Also taking a look at the packaging materials, it does say that Cella started in the heart of Milan in Italy. And also worth noting that besides this tub here, Cella comes in a giant brick format. It's a lot of soap. I know people used to go in group buys, buy a big brick and cut it up and share it. There's even some videos out there, if you go check on YouTube, where people compare the performance of the giant brick version compared to the tub. We're just taking a look at the tub today, but before we get into the shave, let me show you what else we're using today. First up for the razor, we're going with one of my top 5 razors in my shave den. It is the Karve Overlander. It is affectionately called by some the Goatlander. This one here is in brass. It recently came out in stainless steel, so kudos to you who were able to snag the stainless steel one. And the razor blade we have loaded up is the Rapira Platinum Luxe. Next up for the brush, we are continuing on our boar brush journey. This one is on loan from friend of the channel and recent Lather Talk podcast guest HD Shaves. He is lending me this beautiful brush here. It is a Zenith B2. It's the big boar, I believe it's labeled on the product page. It's 26 by 57 knot, and it has been rehoused in this beautiful wooden brush by Dogwood Handcrafts. Nice, kind of great feel in hand, chunky brush, and I can't wait to see how this Zenith knot performs compared to the big scrubby, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll add a link, but that was too big and too scrubby. So we'll see how this smaller knot goes. Now lastly, for the post shave, I unfortunately don't have the Cella aftershave splash, and also for those of you who are curious about that product, it's worth mentioning it is not a one-for-one as far as the scent of the Cella soap and the aftershave splash. I'm not sure what's going on. I know some of the European products tend to have that. The scents are complementary, I'm sure, but they're not one-for-one. And since we're kind of, you know, talking about things from Italy, let's just use Parasso. Let's use Parasso green. It goes with everything. And again, this is another one. It does not match the green soap or the green cream, but a very pleasant scent nonetheless. Well, there's no specific scent notes for you to share with you. I did own Cella before. It was a scent I enjoyed. It was one of my earliest shave soaps when I first moved on from the Parasso cream, or rather the C.O. Bigelow eucalyptus shave cream. And I really enjoyed the scent. It's sweet without being too sweet or cloying. I think there's actually a lot of almond desserts I enjoy. That certainly helps. I do love me like an almond croissant. Such probably one of my favorite pastries. And then there's a Chinese dessert that's almond jello, and you it's with kind of like a fruit cocktail, just canned fruit. Really refreshing, kind of reminds me of being a kid. Let me recap a little bit. This brush, I'm loving this brush. It's been lovingly broken in by HD, I'm sure. So it's very soft, much more splay, which is what I like. I do realize that the backbone is still there, but this is definitely more my speed as far as what I like out of a boar. So I did want to borrow this and kind of try it before picking up another Zenith brush. I kind of knew with the big scrubby that I shouldn't write off all the brushes because it did seem like a very quality product, just the dimensions weren't quite for me. So with the higher loft, that really did the trick. This is still a dense boar brush, but kind of like what I found when I was using my Samog, I think 1305, it was much softer than I thought. You know, having moved on to badgers and synthetics, I was like, oh yeah, you know, you want some exfoliation, you want some scrub, go back to the boar. But this one and the other well broken in boar brushes are quite soft and are quite affordable as well. So I think down the road I will pick up one of these B4 knots in the aluminum handle because I love the weight of that in the big scrubby. So thanks HD for letting me borrow this and figuring that out. All right, so that was a great shave. Let's talk about and recap some of the products we used today. First off, for Cella, I just really like this scent. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I used it today. So really glad that the series has brought me back to Cella. Performance-wise, yeah, it's easy to work with. If you want something that might remind you of your childhood, if you like almond pastries or like almond cherry candies, this might be a good one for you to check out. So for me, definitely it deserves to be labeled a classic soap. I didn't talk too much about the razor today, so just in brief, the Karve Overlander, one of my favorites. It mowed down quite a few days. I think it's like 4 or 5 days of growth I had today. Mowed it down no problem, again with that Rapira Platinum Luxe blade. So great razor. I can really just go on autopilot when I use this razor and don't have to worry about any nicks or cuts at all. And lastly, the Zenith boar brush in the Dogwood Handcrafts handle. Awesome, I love the feel of this brush. This performed like a dream, although I think I will use it for one more video at the very least before I send this back to HD. Thank you again, HD Shaves, for lending me this brush. If you guys haven't checked out before, go check out HD's channel. He's very comprehensive and talking about the gear he uses, kind of a no-nonsense kind of presentation. So be sure to check out my friend, link down in the description. And that brings us to the end of this installment of Classic Shave Soaps and Creams. Cella, great stuff. Now I also want to hear from you guys. Are you a fan of Cella? Have you used it before? Is it a favorite? Do you hate it? Whatever the case may be, leave a comment below. I want to hear from you. But that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's shave. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.
Today's video was made possible in part by our wonderful patrons. For more information about our Patreon, check out patreon.com/lathertalk. You can also check out our Etsy store and pick up a comfy Lather Talk t-shirt or coffee mug. Find all the links down below.